Hi there, everybody. Dan Bobet here, Hopkins County, Precinct 16, Republican Chair. We recently attended the convention, the Republican Convention of Texas, and I do have some results of the legislative priorities that we established there, and I wanted to go over those just a bit with you. Now, first of all, the convention was great. We had 8,000 attendees, and we had 4,000 delegates, 8,000 attendees, so we had a lot of people there. A lot of voting went on as well. So I wanted to go over the Texas priorities for the Republican Party. Number one, secure Texas elections. There were 572 that were no. 6,728.62. I don't know how we got a 0.62. That were yes. 92% of all Senate districts. And the way this works is when we get into the convention, we are separated by Senate districts. So we do fit with other counties. We sit with other counties, and but in our surrounding Senate district. So we're Senate District 1, and Hopkins County is part of that. So. Priority 2, don't Sharia our Texas. There were 89.95% of Senate districts said yes. Completely eliminate all property tax, 80.4% voted for that. Now, there's a lot of considerations going into eliminating property tax, and I'll try to go into a little bit of detail on each one of these after I get the list down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4 on the list is ban taxpayer-funded lobbying. Yeah, that's just kind of crazy. But how are schools going to lobby? That should be interesting. Yeah. Next is secure Texas grid, water, energy, agriculture from property sovereignty. We had countries such as China buying property in Texas, and we want to protect from that. We don't want foreign entities buying our property in our farmland. Next on the list is border enforcement. It's not real high up there, but it's still a priority amongst most people. I'm sure a lot of us would like to see a wall. There are some parts of Texas that are really beautiful parks, but they're right on the border too. So to put a wall through there, that's going to be a problem. But anyway, but border protection is important to us. Also protect Texas kids, and I'll get into that because that title doesn't really say a lot. And number 8, protect life, is has more to do with the abortion ban in Texas. So that's it, unless you want to hear more. That's really the list. The securing Texas election. To safeguard election integrity, to ensure that only eligible citizens participate, to promote transparency, and to restore public trust in Texas elections, we propose these core reforms. Strict voter registration and eligibility. Secure in-person voting and photo ID. Paper ballot security and counting. close primaries and party accountability. And right now, Democrats can vote in the Republican primary, and Republicans can vote in the Democratic primary. Also, strengthen administration and finance rules. Make the Secretary of State an elected by public and election officials. Anyway. Don't Sharia our Texas. Texas government must stop Sharia law by declaring that Sharia law is an incompatible, seditious, subversive, competing enemy system in opposition to the Texas and U.S. Constitution, and that its advocacy or implementation is seditious criminal act deserving disqualification from public, military, and law enforcement service, and justifying criminal punishment, denaturalization, and deportation. Sharia law should also be resisted in the following ways. Immigration reform formally requests that federal government denaturalize and deport advocates of Sharia law. No taxpayer funds. Taxpayer funds shall not be granted, contracted, dispersed, or otherwise provided to any entity or program that promotes or advocates allegiance to foreign legal systems. Sharia compliance developments. Stop any residential or non-residential development that advocates and the application of Sharia law or discriminates against those who do not submit to it. Funding prohibitions. Stop religious and educational institutions in Texas from receiving funding from hostile foreign and domestic sources that have any affiliation with organization that advocates Sharia law or has been designated as a foreign terror organization or transnational criminal organization. Pretty straightforward stuff. There's more to that. If you want more than that, let me know. I'll get you copies of all this. Completely eliminate all property tax. We call on the legislature to immediately develop and implement a plan that eliminates property taxes for all property owners. The plan should be a net tax cut, not a next cut, a net tax cut, thus requiring fiscal discipline, zero-based budgeting and spending restraint at all levels of government, and the plan should require 2/3 of voter to increase the overall tax burden, adopt new debt, or exceed spending limits. It's a great idea. I'll just say that. Ban taxpayer-funded lobbying. Prohibit all forms of taxpayer-funded lobbying by any taxing entity, including the use of tax dollars to hire lobbyists, direct use contractors, third parties, or non-elected public employees who are registered lobbyists. Prohibit associations or other entities that receive tax dollars and also collect premiums, dues, fees, or subscriptions from engaging in any lobbying activities. Establish civil and criminal penalties, including enforcement by local prosecutors and the Texas Attorney General for using taxpayer funds to lobby. Interesting. The next one is secure Texas grid, water, agriculture, and property sovereignty. We call on the Texas legislature to safeguard our finite natural resources, critical infrastructure, agriculture, private property rights against foreign influence, unsustainable consumption, and electric grid protection. And what else? And something else. Is it back here? I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Electric grid protection. Protect the Texas grid from large-scale EMP and foreign adversary cyber threats by removing vulnerable control equipment. Pause uneconomical 765 kV transmission projects, ensure fair electricity rates for families and small businesses, and recapture federal incentives to preserve grid independence through conventional generation. Yeah, that's an issue right here in Sulphur Springs, where we have peak moments down at the lodge. As an example, we meet on Thursday, so the air conditioner goes on, everything goes on. The rest of the time, the lodge is dark. Well, we get charged, $500-600 a month for electricity because of one night. That's not good. Anyway, water security, ban large-scale export or sale of groundwater and surface water to any single private entity. There is more to that, but you can have it if you want it. Texas is not for sale. Expand prohibitions on foreign and adversary ownership or control of all critical infrastructure in adjacent land. Require full beneficial ownership disclosure to prevent shell company evasion. And that would definitely happen with China. I worked for a Chinese company for a year. Oh my gosh, the stuff they did was just amazing. And not in a good way. So you want to hear about that, give me a call. End civil asset forfeiture. Abolish civil asset forfeiture entirely. Ensure private property can only be forfeited following criminal conviction that is upheld on appeal. Protect Texas agriculture. Prohibit foreign governments, adversaries, and their proxies from owning and controlling Texas farmland, farms, and ranches. Promote strong biosecurity measures and rapid response eradication of harmful parasites such as the invasive New World screwworm, while fully respecting farmers' and ranchers' rights and minimizing regulatory burdens. That's a mouthful. So, there are elements in each one of these that cover several different areas. It can cover property ownership, obviously agriculture, local jurisdictions over property rights, things like that. So these are some complicated bills that we need. How about border enforcement? To secure the Texas border, strengthen immigration enforcement, deter illegal immigration, and protect Texas taxpayers and sovereignty. We propose these core reforms. Local cooperation with federal enforcement. Penalties and sanctuary policies. Empower the Texas Attorney General to prosecute local government officials who interfere or obstruct immigration enforcement. Strengthen border operations. Overhaul the Texas border mission by establishing a dedicated border protection unit focused on preventing illegal entry, combating human trafficking and cartel activity, and facilitating the removal of individuals unlawfully present in the United States. E-Verify and employment controls. Mandate E-Verify for all Texas employers with significant penalties for non-compliance. I have to say, unfortunately, there are a lot of illegal workers that are somewhat embraced by Texas companies to do jobs such as we had an arborist come to our property. He had his Mexican go up and cut the trees. So he hired this guy, paid him cash, and nobody ever knew anything about it. So, that was a few years back, and I believe he's probably dead. But, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. Small businesses need to adhere to that as well. And benefits and incentives for illegal presence. terminate all non-emergency public benefits for individuals unlawfully present in the United States, including in-state college tuition and enrollment in public schools, while preserving emergency medical care. Deny all taxpayer-funded grants, incentives, and subsidies, including Texas Enterprise Fund grants and tax abatements to companies that employ foreign visa workers. Of this, I know something about. 10 years on the school board in California. A large percentage of our resources went to, number one, teaching immigrants to speak English. My kids were middle of the road students. They got no attention. They got no push to go over the middle of the road to become excellent students until they got into college. Then they got the push. They did well in college, by the way, but that's not the point. In high school and in elementary school, a lot of our resources went to, number one, teaching them how to speak English. And if you look at the lowest performing school in Milpitas Unified, it's a multi-language school. And I was part of a group of people who went in there to examine why the scores were so low, and we recommended that the school be closed for a period of time and then reopened, so that we could reformat the whole thing. But we had a large immigrant population right there that went to that school, and so we feed them breakfast, feed them lunch, and in some cases we feed them over the summer. Where does that money come from? That comes from your tax dollars. Do you really want to do that? I don't know. Doesn't seem to make sense. It's compassionate. It's very compassionate. And the kids are there. Our job is to instruct them. However, there needs to be a limit. Protect Texas kids. Let's see. Remittance tax for enforcement. Impose tax on cash and app-based remittances to foreign nations to help fund Texas immigration enforcement efforts. Yeah. Okay, so this next one is protect Texas kids. To protect Texas children, strengthen families, and ensure safe schools, we propose these core reforms. School employee screening and enforcement. That's simple. I can't tell you the number of, I literally cannot tell you the number of child predators that we moved out of the school district. That was not cool. When that happened, it was awful, and it wasn't always just one student. Promote marriage and strong families. Protect family sovereignty and privacy. And sales and display. Ban the sale and display of obscene devices in family-friendly stores and allow them only in sexually oriented businesses. Well, that's kind of common sense, huh? And last but not least, protect life. Protect the sanctity of every human life. We call on lawmakers to affirm the sanctity of every human life, created in the image of God, by securing the right to life and equal protection under the law from the moment of fertilization until natural death. The legislature must repeal Penal Code section blah 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 and Civil Practice and Remedies Code blah blah blah. Pass strong criminal penalties and new enforcement tools to fight abortion and abortion pill trafficking. We are in the Bible Belt. You must understand that we regard life from conception on. So are those cells? And a lot of the argument is, well, it's just a mass of cells. Those are human cells. Yeah, those are human cells. And they're live. So when does life begin? When the cells begin to duplicate and replicate, would be my argument. Does it have a consciousness? No, I remember my first moments of consciousness when I was a little boy. I mean, I was, but it's kind of like, well, what am I doing here? Anyway, yeah. So this is a complicated issue, and we have an issue with in vitro fertilization as well. That once you dive into these things, if you believe life begins at fertilization as the cells start to duplicate, who is to say those eggs that are fertilized are not all viable? I know nobody wants to have 9 children at a time, or 10, or however many eggs are fertilized at one time. They got to be able to pick the best, and research needs to be able to identify those that are not viable and those that are. So we need to do a little more work in this area. So anyway, so that's them. That's the 8 priorities for Texas Republicans and the legislators in Texas that are Republican. So that's all I have for now, and we will talk to you later. You have a great day. I got another video coming out. I've been trying to get everything together. I need to apologize. I've recorded it 3 times and the sound did not come through. So I have new microphones on the way. My camera, for some reason, just refuses to record sound. So I'm actually doing this video on my phone, and I'll rework it on the computer and put it on Facebook. So YouTube, my YouTube channel. Go to Around Dan Shop. That's my YouTube channel. You click on this video, you've stayed to the end, you might as well subscribe. I've got a variety of things, everything from the Republican Party to shooting to building stuff in the shop and repairing mowers and whatever breaks down around the house, and especially whatever projects my wife makes me do. Anyway, y'all have a great day, and thank you very much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.